So, so Mel, how did you actually get around for the majority of the trip?
Well, most of the way we travelled by car. I wanted to do it sort of using vegetable oil or something, but that was completely impossible because it was tricky to source, and also because of some of the high altitudes we had to go up to. And then down the Amazon, we actually travelled by cargo boat with all the locals, pretty much. I mean, we bush camped most of the way, but again, that was much harder than Africa because so much of the country around South America, as I said, was so westernised. So it was actually so much of it is fenced off.
Yeah.
That actually it gets really hard to find places to sneak into to set up camp.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, travelling by cargo boat with all the locals down the Amazon. It is the Amazon. Not only the might and magnitude of that river is extraordinary, but it is their superhighway and it is their lifeline.
Yeah.
So if you like, sort of near the ocean end of the Amazon, I was quite shocked at how many massive cargo boats there were. Tankers, and because it's so huge.
Yeah.
And it was important for me to travel with the locals to really get a feel of, everyday life, etc. And, every single stop we made, I think we used about 4 different boats actually in all. But, they'd offload everything from, plastic products. I was shocked at how many plastic products actually, mostly sugary drinks, copycat, ones of Western brands,
Yep.
all the Western brands, as well as other products, chicken, building materials, etc. We slept in hammocks most of the time on boats, on the cargo boats, but occasionally I'd hire what was pretty much a metal box of a cabin, which with the humidity was tough actually to keep our equipment safe and dry.
Yeah.
So a few times I did that, and one time actually the captain of the boat very kindly gave me his cabin,
Oh, really?
which was really nice. But
Chivalry isn't dead.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was lovely because after the locals, we talked to all the locals about their awareness and all the rest of it, and they really looked out for us.
Yeah.
And which is important. And actually, it was in the cabin, in the captain's cabin, that I woke up one night because there's a huge sort of foot-long rat in the cabin, and actually I got up for a bit to go for a walk, and that's when it must have been 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Some of the crew were walking around, and they just picked up all the rubbish bins on the cargo boat and chucked all the rubbish over the side in the middle of the night.
Are you joking?
Which blew me away. I mean, it was so it was so clearly done at that time of night, so nobody would really see.
Yeah.
But equally, there was no other alternative, if you like, really,
Yeah.
for them, because the infrastructure, isn't there. Anyway, eventually I did manage to get back to my cabin, and I just thought, well, I just can't. The rat had eaten through my bag and scoffed an apple, and I just wrapped myself in whatever I could, and hoped it didn't eat my toes, really. Anyway.
An Amazonian rat. I imagine they must be huge. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think there were many places that, as I said, it was very difficult. It wasn't until I got to the Amazon that I really felt I was somewhere really remote, apart from the Atacama Desert.